Have you ever noticed how sometimes, no matter how close you get to a man, it still feels like there's a distance, like he's there, but not fully there. You can make him laugh, you can share moments together, but deep down you want more. You want that fire, that raw, magnetic desire where he can't stop thinking about you even when you're not in the room. You want him to crave you, not just want you. And here's the truth no one tells you. Attraction isn't just about looks or how confident you seem or what you wear. It's about how you make him feel. Most women think it's about giving more attention, more affection, more effort. But what actually makes a man addicted to you is knowing how to connect with his desire on a deeper, almost subconscious level. It's not about being too much or too easy. It's about the quiet confidence that makes him lean in, not because you asked him to, but because he can't help himself. Every woman has the power to make a man crave her, truly crave her, but very few know how to awaken that power. That's why today I'm going to reveal something different. We're not talking about obvious flirting tips or bedroom tricks.
No.
These are 3 forbidden techniques. Not forbidden because they're dirty or wrong, but because most people are too afraid to use them. These techniques work on a psychological level. They don't just make him want you physically, they make him need your presence emotionally. They build anticipation, curiosity, and a kind of pull that lingers long after you've said goodnight. So if you've ever wondered why some women seem to have this mysterious energy that drives men crazy, why they can walk into a room and instantly command attention, stay with me. Because what you're about to learn isn't manipulation, it's mastery. The mastery of feminine energy, timing, and emotional rhythm. Once you understand these secrets, you'll never chase again, because from that moment on, he'll be the one chasing you. Let's start with something so subtle, yet so powerful, that most women completely overlook it, the pause of power. This technique is all about slowing down the moment. Because here's the truth, real desire doesn't live in the act itself. It lives in the anticipation before it happens. Most people rush through connection. They rush through conversations, touches, even glances. But the ones who truly captivate, the ones who make a man lose his breath, know how to make time move differently around them. The pause of power is the art of not filling every silence. It's the ability to hold space, to let a moment breathe. When you're with a man, instead of reacting instantly to his joke, to his compliment, to his touch, try pausing for just a second longer than you normally would. It sounds simple, but that pause sends a message that you are in control of the rhythm between you. And that rhythm is everything. Think about it. When you're watching a movie and the music slows, your heart races because you know something's about to happen. That's what this technique does to a man's emotions. The pause creates anticipation. Anticipation turns into excitement, and excitement transforms into desire. Here's how it works in real life. Imagine he leans closer during a conversation, waiting for your reaction. Instead of instantly smiling or responding, hold his gaze. Just breathe, let that silence hang in the air for one heartbeat longer. In that tiny pause, his mind starts racing. What is she thinking? Does she feel it too? You've just created mystery, and mystery is magnetic. The same applies to touch. Maybe he brushes your hand lightly or steps closer than usual. Most people would instantly respond by moving, talking, laughing nervously, but you stay still, calm, confident. You allow him to feel the moment. That's when he starts to sense something different about you, something most women never give him. You're not rushing to please, you're letting him want. Psychologically, the pause of power taps into one of the oldest human instincts, the chase. Men are wired to crave what they can't immediately have. When you rush, you rob him of that chase. But when you pause, when you move with intention instead of reaction, you reignite it. Suddenly, you become unpredictable. He can't read you fully, and that uncertainty is intoxicating. This doesn't just apply in intimate settings, it works in conversation too. When he compliments you, instead of instantly saying thank you, try smiling softly, holding his gaze and saying, "You really think so?" That one line paired with that 1 second of pause transforms a casual moment into something electric. The beauty of the pause of power is that it makes you unforgettable. Most women are noise. Constant movement, constant words, constant energy. But when you embrace stillness, when you own your silence, you become contrast. You stand out. You give him something rare, the feeling of presence. Here's the secret: confidence isn't loud, it's quiet. The most magnetic women aren't the ones who rush to impress. They're the ones who are comfortable with the tension. They know how to stay calm while he feels the heat of the moment rising. So the next time you're with him, remember this: don't rush the magic. Let it build. Let him feel every second of that space between words, between glances, between breaths, because that's where desire grows, not in what's said or done, but in the pause before it happens. When you master the pause of power, you stop chasing attention. You become the attention. And once a man experiences that kind of energy from you, he'll never forget it. If the first technique was about silence, this one is about sound. Because while your pauses create anticipation, your voice seals the connection. The whisper of intention isn't about talking dirty or saying the perfect line. It's about how you use your voice to reach him on a level that words alone never could. You see, a man might be drawn to your looks, your smile, or your confidence, but what truly hooks him is the way you speak to him. Your voice carries emotion, warmth, and energy, all the things that trigger a man's deeper attraction centers. Most women don't realize that a simple change in tone can completely transform how a man experiences them. The right tone doesn't just communicate, it hypnotizes. The whisper of intention is about speaking in a way that pulls him closer without you even trying. You don't have to force it or sound overly seductive. This isn't acting. It's about slowing down your pace, softening your tone, and speaking with purpose. When you talk with calm confidence and a gentle rhythm, you make him listen, you make him feel. Imagine this: you're sitting close, maybe sharing a laugh, and you lean in just slightly. You lower your voice, not because you're shy, but because you know it makes him lean in to hear you. That's the secret. Men crave closeness. When you lower your tone, it draws him in subconsciously. He starts to focus entirely on you. Your words become more than sounds. They become sensations. And it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. You can say something as simple as, "I like that," or "You make me laugh," but if you say it with warmth and intention, with a soft, slow exhale and a knowing smile, it lands completely differently. It tells him without a single explicit word, "I'm connected to you right now. There's a reason this works so powerfully." When you speak gently and deliberately, it activates the emotional part of his brain, the same area connected to intimacy and attachment. Your voice becomes a kind of emotional fingerprint, something his body remembers even when you're not around. Think about it. Haven't you ever missed someone's voice more than their words? That's what this technique does to him. Another key to the whisper of intention is the use of space between words. Most people rush when they talk, afraid of silence. But when you pause mid-sentence, even for a second, it draws attention to every word that follows. Try saying his name softly in conversation, letting it linger just a little longer. "You know what I love about you, Michael?" That tiny pause before his name adds emotional gravity. It's intimate, personal, and deeply connecting. The tone of your voice also communicates how safe and grounded you are. When you speak from calm confidence, not nervousness or neediness, you signal emotional strength, and that's irresistible to a man, because real attraction isn't just about chemistry, it's about energy. When your energy is composed, present, and feminine, it magnetically pulls him into your space. You can use this technique anywhere, not just in romantic settings. Over the phone during a conversation, even in a simple text translated into a voice note. When you speak with that subtle intention, he'll feel it. He might not be able to explain why, but something about your tone will stay with him. So remember this: your voice is not just a tool for communication. It's a bridge between your energy and his emotions. Speak less but mean more. Let your tone carry warmth, curiosity, and confidence. Because once you master the whisper of intention, you won't need to compete for his attention. You'll already have it. He'll crave the sound of your voice, not because of what you say, but because of how it makes him feel. This next technique is one of the most powerful, and yet one of the quietest forms of connection. It doesn't rely on words or even deliberate action. It's about energy, awareness, and timing. The mirror touch is the subtle art of sensing with a man's rhythm, his movements, his body language, his energy, in a way that makes him feel deeply understood without you saying a single word. Here's the fascinating thing about human psychology. We naturally mirror the people we feel close to. When two people are truly in sync, laughing, connecting, vibing, their gestures, tone, and even breathing begin to match. It's called emotional mirroring, and it's one of the most powerful subconscious bonding tools that exists. The mirror touch uses that instinct intentionally to create emotional intimacy that feels effortless. Let's picture it in a real scenario. Imagine you're sitting across from him, talking, laughing, sharing a story. Notice how he leans back, how he gestures with his hands, how he tilts his head when he listens. Instead of overthinking, you simply feel into his energy and subtly reflect it back. If he leans forward, you lean in a little too. If he speaks slowly, you soften your voice to match his rhythm. You're not copying, you're connecting. That's what makes the mirror touch so powerful. It's not imitation, it's alignment. When you move in harmony with someone, you send a subconscious message. I get you. I feel you. We're on the same wavelength. And the human brain loves that. It interprets that synchronicity as chemistry. That's why when you're deeply in tune with someone, time seems to disappear, conversation flows naturally, and everything feels easy. Now, here's where it gets even deeper. Once that alignment is built, once he feels safe and connected, you can break that mirroring ever so slightly. For example, if he's leaning in and you suddenly pull back with a small confident smile, that change in rhythm pulls him toward you even more. You've created emotional tension, the kind that makes him crave your presence and your reaction. Psychologists have studied this phenomenon for years, and the results are striking. People who subtly mirror another's body language are perceived as more attractive, more trustworthy, and more emotionally compatible. But here's the key. It only works when it's authentic. Forced mirroring feels unnatural. The real magic happens when you're present enough to pick up on his micro expressions, his tone, his breathing, and allow your body to respond naturally. The mirror touch isn't limited to gestures, it extends to emotional energy. If he's speaking passionately, let your eyes light up with that same excitement. If he's being vulnerable, lower your voice and soften your energy. When you meet him where he is emotionally, it creates a feeling of safety. And safety is what allows desire to deepen. You can also use touch as a physical extension of this technique. Gentle, synchronized contact that mirrors his level of intimacy. For example, if he lightly touches your arm during a laugh, you can return a similar gesture a few moments later. It's not about matching every move. It's about building a rhythm that feels mutual. Men are often starved for emotional connection, even when they don't admit it. When you mirror him subtly, not to manipulate, but to connect, he feels seen in a way he rarely experiences. That emotional recognition is addictive. He'll find himself drawn to you without understanding why. So the next time you're with him, stop worrying about what to say next. Instead, observe, feel, sync with his rhythm, his breathing, his tone, his gestures, and then lead that rhythm with gentle confidence. The mirror touch creates chemistry without effort, intimacy without words, and desire without pressure. And once a man feels that kind of emotional alignment with you, he won't just want to be near you, he'll need to be. Before a single word leaves your mouth, before a single touch happens, your eyes are already telling a story. They communicate emotion, curiosity, attraction, and confidence, all without a sound. Eyes that speak technique is about using your gaze, not just to look at him, but to connect with him. Because when used with intention, your eyes can say what words never could. Here's something most people forget. A man might hear your words, but he feels your eyes. A single look, held just a moment too long, can light a spark that conversation alone could never create. The secret lies in how you look at him, the softness, the timing, and the message behind your gaze. Think about the last time someone's eyes caught yours unexpectedly, that moment where time seemed to slow, and for a second, everything else disappeared. That's what the eyes that speak can do. It builds invisible intimacy. It's that electric moment where attraction deepens from curiosity into connection. When you look at a man with intention, not staring, not scanning, but truly seeing him, you're sending a powerful message. I'm present, I'm confident, I see you. And men, whether they admit it or not, crave that feeling of being seen. In a world full of distraction, where people scroll through conversations and glance through dates, someone who actually looks with purpose stands out. Here's how to do it right. The first step is to slow down. Don't rush your gaze. When you make eye contact, hold it for a heartbeat longer than usual, then look away slowly, not nervously. That tiny moment of lingering tells him that you're comfortable with the connection. It creates a push-pull dynamic. You give him closeness, then take it away. And that unpredictability, that's what makes him crave more. Your eyes also communicate emotion, warmth, confidence, playfulness, desire, and those emotions are contagious. When you let your eyes soften, when they carry a hint of a smile or mystery, he feels it. It's as if your gaze pulls him into your emotional world. Even if you're across the room, that silent connection says everything. I know you see me, and I see you too. Psychologically, this technique works because prolonged eye contact releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It's the same chemical released during moments of intimacy, which is why sustained eye contact can make someone feel deeply connected to you. The longer that moment lasts, the more his mind begins to associate your presence with safety, warmth, and excitement. That speak technique isn't about being intense, it's about being intentional. You're not trying to dominate or make him uncomfortable. Instead, you're creating presence. You're showing that you're confident enough to hold his gaze and self-assured enough to break it at the right time. That's the perfect balance of power and softness, and it's irresistible. Here's a little trick when you talk to him. Alternate between looking at his eyes, his lips, and back to his eyes again. That simple triangle motion subtly mimics the rhythm of attraction. It's suggestive but never explicit. It makes him wonder what you're thinking. And when curiosity mixes with desire, connection deepens naturally. Another powerful way to use this technique is during silence. You don't need to fill every moment with words. Sometimes the most intimate moments are the ones where you simply look at each other. No pressure, no performance, just presence. In that silence, your eyes speak volumes: confidence, affection, curiosity, control. So remember, your eyes are your most powerful tool. They can ignite chemistry, build trust, and express emotion far beyond language. When you master the eyes that speak, you'll find that you no longer have to say much at all. Because when your eyes do the talking, he'll feel every word you don't say. Sometimes the loudest message of attraction is spoken in complete silence. No words, no confessions, just reflection. When a man mirrors you, your gestures, your tone, your pace, your energy, it's not an accident, it's biology, it's chemistry. It's a deep subconscious signal that says, I'm in tune with you. Think about it. You lean forward slightly during a conversation, and he does the same. You take a sip of your drink, and seconds later, he takes his. You cross your legs, and his body subtly adjusts to match yours. None of this is rehearsed. It's instinct. It's how the human brain tries to build connection by creating harmony. And when desire is involved, that harmony becomes almost magnetic. When a man truly desires you, that he doesn't want distance, he wants alignment. His body begins to synchronize with yours because at a primal level, he's trying to show you, I get you. I'm like you. We belong on the same wavelength. It's his way of saying, I'm safe, I'm familiar, and I'm interested, without uttering a single word. This mirroring behavior is incredibly powerful because it's involuntary. He's not consciously thinking, she touched her hair, so I'll do it too. Instead, his body naturally mirrors your movements as a way to create emotional closeness. It's the same psychological mechanism that helps mothers bond with babies. It's deep, primal, and emotional. But here's what most women miss: the real magic isn't in the movements themselves, but in the energy synchronization. You start talking in a softer tone, and suddenly his voice lowers to match yours. You get excited about a story, and he leans in smiling, his body alive with your enthusiasm. You sigh deeply after a long day, and his expression softens as if your sigh just echoed inside him. That's mirroring at its purest. Two energies blending together like reflections in a still pond. Mirroring also shows up in the smallest, most intimate details. He'll use your favorite phrases, laugh in a similar rhythm, or even pick up your habits without realizing it. You mention how much you love a certain coffee place. Next thing you know, he's suddenly into that brand too. Not because he's pretending, but because desire makes him gravitate toward the things that bring him closer to your world. Now, here's where this becomes truly revealing. When a man mirrors you, it's not just about attraction, it's about emotional investment. Physical desire can make a man look at you, but emotional desire makes him match you. He wants to understand you, to feel what you feel, to move through the world in sync with you. It's his subconscious saying, I don't just want your body, I want your presence, your rhythm, your essence. But let's be honest, not all mirroring means deep connection. Some people mimic to manipulate or gain favor. The difference lies in authenticity. A man who truly desires you won't copy you perfectly like an actor rehearsing lines. His mirroring will be subtle, warm, and natural. It feels effortless, not forced. You can feel it like a heartbeat syncing with yours. So next time you're with a man and you notice him reflecting your movements or echoing your energy, pause for a moment. Look past the gestures and into the energy between you. Does it feel calm, alive, connected? If yes, then what you're seeing isn't coincidence. It's connection. His body is speaking the words his mind can't yet say. I'm drawn to you, I'm aligning with you. You and I, we move as one, and that's when you'll know his desire isn't fleeting or surface level. It's deep. It's emotional. It's the kind of desire that doesn't just want to touch you. It wants to understand you. So the next time you're around a man and you find yourself wondering, does he really want me, or am I imagining it? Look beyond the words. Desire isn't always spoken. It's revealed in the way his eyes soften when you smile, in the pauses between his sentences, in how his body leans closer without even realizing it. True desire isn't loud. It's quiet, but it's consistent. When a man truly wants you, his actions whisper the truth long before his lips ever dare to. He doesn't just look at you. He studies you. He doesn't just listen to you, he feels you. Every subtle cue, every mirrored move, every protective instinct is his heart saying, I'm drawn to you more than I can explain. And here's the most powerful thing you can do: trust your intuition. You'll always sense real desire because it feels grounding, not confusing. It feels safe, not rushed. When you're around a man who truly desires you, you don't have to chase his attention. You become his focus. If this resonated with you, if you've ever felt that mysterious spark and wanted to understand it better, make sure you subscribe, because this channel is all about decoding the unspoken side of love, attraction, and connection. Remember, when he mirrors your energy, protects your space, and listens with his eyes, he's not just interested, he's captivated.